I find this view really inspiring and very much part of my London. It's actually the view from my house, and it's less than 5 miles from the centre of London, so it really typifies the quirkiness that you can have this sort of view within 5 miles of the centre of a great metropolis. Okay, this is St Pancras and Islington Cemetery. I come here to jog a couple of times a week. It's a good way to make you feel alive and to remind you, if you don't go jogging, this is where you'll end up. But it's quite a historic cemetery. It was made in the 1850s and it's the biggest cemetery in London. It's got loads of really quirky bits and pieces in here. There's a fantastic temple that's the final resting place of an industrialist called Mond. I've no idea anything about him other than he left a lot of paintings to the National Gallery. There are weird little graves with World War II bombers on it, clowns, air balloons, and I'm going to take you to see a dog one, which is one of my favourite ones. Okay, well this is one of the typical quirky kind of things that you can find in this cemetery. This is a memorial for a guy who died saving a dog, and this was created by subscription by animal lovers. They paid for this monument. The cemetery goes back into the woods, so loads of it's overgrown and it's just ripe for discovery, which is absolutely right for London. So if you follow this round to the left, you haven't got a lot of choices here basically. Well, this is the Phoenix East Finchley. It used to be called the Rex in the good old days in the 30s, and it's the oldest purpose-built cinema in the UK, and I do some pro bono work here on the kind of marketing and fundraising front, so that for the centenary we can get this place restored. I've always been into cinema since I was a teenager. I've kind of practically sort of obsessed with it, and gone into a sort of career that's related to moving pictures and sound. So it's at the same time it's kind of a community kind of activity, but also it's like my great passion, so very inspiring for me. So when I first saw the car, I thought, gorgeous shape. It kind of reminds me of the way that kids draw cars, and it's charming for that. And I thought I would love to get in that car. It looks a bit like Postman Pat's van, and go on holiday to Greendale. So the next stop is Whitestone Pond, which is at the very top of Hampstead. So this is Hampstead Heath. I was actually born near here, at Whitestone Pond. And I'm hoping to get back here in the long run because it's now become an old age home. This is called the Vale of Health, and down there D.H. Lawrence used to live, and D.H. Lawrence was born on the same day as I was. I love it because it's one of the best places that gives you a real sort of overview, and it's been captured by lots of artists, from John Constable to Ford Madox Brown that I mentioned earlier on, that's buried in East Finchley Cemetery there. So this is Whitestone Pond. This is a cattle pond, and it was the last stop before people brought their cattle down into London. And in my day, as a kid, people used to come up here a lot to sail toy boats, but I think we're beyond the sailing toy boats era at this point. This is the block where they shot part of An American Werewolf in London. There's a tram that gets eaten behind there. Good movie. And the reason we're heading this way is I want to go to Cutlers Hall. Cutlers Hall is the home of the Cutlers Company, which is one of the city livery guilds. And what they were is effectively like trades unions. They were medieval trades unions. These days they do mainly charity and educational work. I was standing in the Mansion House for a work event, and the Mansion House is where the Lord Mayor of London hangs out, and I was looking at all the pictures of London and all the stuff on the walls to do with London, and I was just really thinking how much I love the city and how much I'd really like to get involved in the sort of fabric of the city. So it was at that point that I decided to get back in touch with the Cutlers Company and to become a member. So every inch of London is full of stories, and I just love it for that and never get bored with it, and just endlessly find new things that I didn't know, new places I didn't know, new people I haven't met. So it's a huge inspiration in my life. There are some older cinemas, but they used to be music halls before. And I come here as often as I can. It's in the high street of my locality, which is pretty lucky because I'm very, very into cinema. Have been since I was a teenager. And I was here just yesterday watching a propaganda film about the Battle of the Somme with live piano accompaniment. So it does stuff like that, but it also has a lot of kind of art house and you know, kind of slightly less multiplex kind of films here. And I do some pro bono work here on the kind of marketing and fundraising front. So in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have a preview showing of Nowhere Man, or is it Nowhere Boy? I forget. It's the one about John Lennon anyway, Sam Taylor Wood. And that's part of the fundraising activity so that for the centenary, we can get this place restored.